As the fog rolls into Burger Acres, kind of makes me think there might be a scary movie on the horizon. Hey friends, so we're kicking back, looking at just kind of hanging, watching a movie today.
I hope I never see such a sight again.
So I decide I'm going to jump onto Hulu, browse around a little bit. I've got it in my mind that I'm going to find something of a thriller type film, maybe a horror type movie. You know, I don't want to get into the crazy horror that I grew up on, you know, the Nightmare on Elm Street, the Friday the 13th, the Sleepaway Camp, that type of, gore type thing. I'm really not into the whole, I'm not into anything with apparitions or ghosts or things like that, except Ghostbusters maybe, but not into any of that sort of thing, not into that scene. So what I end up discovering is a film, kind of a sci-fi type thriller film that is labeled as the worst movie ever made by the worst director ever to make a movie, Plan 9 from Outer Space. It's right there on there. There are areas and places where you could probably find it for free, but I found it on Hulu, and this movie, oh my god, it's so bad, it's comical. There's a reason that people watch this. Yeah.
I saw a flying saucer.
Saucer? You mean the kind from up there?
Yeah, its counterpart.
Truth be told, in my later years as an educator, I had it in my mind, as a matter of fact, that I was going to rewrite the script to Plan 9 from Outer Space, shoot it as a project with my students. I was going to have them play the parts, and we were going to actually produce a movie for an art appreciation class. And I got into the script, and it was so hard to really think about how we would do it and all of that. I just kind of went on to the next thing. But that was a fleeting idea that, who knows, maybe someday, 100 years from now, if I get back into the game more seriously, that's something I'll maybe pursue, but I digress.
Future events such as these will affect you in the future.
So if you're going to take the whole movie, knowing everything about it, and condense it down, here's what it is. The people of Earth are discovering a way to make a new powerful weapon. And there's a little bit of confusion on how to pronounce this weapon. It's pronounced like 5 different ways in the film.
The Solomonite. You speak of Solomonite. Develop this Solenoid Bomb.
The people of Earth are going to create this weapon, which will certainly wipe out the entire solar system, the entire universe. Because basically what it does is you ignite a light beam, and it's a weapon that's based on a light beam. And then that would create a chain reaction that would basically lead from the light beam here on Earth to the sun. The sun would explode, causing everything that the sun touches to explode, causing everything else to explode, leading to other stars, leading to other everything. So basically you would have a complete destruction of everything.
Well, they must have a reason for their visits.
Visits? That would indicate visitors.
And so the people in space, that are humans, human looking, that basically know that we're developing this weapon, are coming down to stop us from creating the weapon. And so what do? they go through various plans, and they go from plan 1 to 2, 3, in progression, and they finally get to plan 9.
Ah, yes. Plan 9 deals with the resurrection of the dead. Long-distance electrode shot into the pineal and pituitary glands of recent dead.
And they would fight local police, apparently, and the infinite wisdom of the galaxy of these people from space is to basically only focus on one town with a total number of 3 dead people over the course of like a week or something. And so, because when you watch the film, it's day, it's night, it's day, it's night, it's day, it's night, it's day, it's night. So you don't really, it's really uncertain to me whether this is all one continuous night or several days, what the timeline is. The story's a little bit ambiguous in that the sun is up and it's down in different scenes that are right next to each other. Like, the police officers will get in their car and it's day, and then they'll drive down the road and they'll get to the graveyard and it's night, and then they get back in their car and it's day. Like, have they been there all night long and they're going back home the next morning? Are they, like, what in the world's going on? The discrepancy between when it's day and when it's night and when it's day 1 and when it's day 3 or whatever it is really kind of bizarre.
Because all of you of Earth are idiots.
I guess on paper, considered Bela Lugosi, who was the famous Dracula, it was his last film that he was ever in, because there were some shots that were captured by the director Ed Wood that that he put together for a future project. That project was scrapped to create this project. And it's really kind of a shit show from the start to the end. It's got kind of a range of cast of characters. It's got a professional wrestler, Tor Johnson, who looks like, he looks like George the Animal Steel, but like before George the Animal Steel. And he's Swedish, and so he's got a really thick accent. It's really hard to understand him.
Have one of the boys take the guy and the girl back to town.
They've got a California personality of Vampira, who is kind of the predecessor to Elvira in the 80s.
Hello, darling. It's me again, yours truly, Elvira, the gal with the enormous ratings.
Clearly, they're not putting a lot of emphasis on casting. They're not putting a lot of emphasis on considering when they're shooting or how they're putting these scenes together. It's not really mapped out in a real logical way. The dialogue is famously horrible.
You reported that your ship was viewed at the scene of your present operation.
And the set design is less than stellar, like this, where the graveyard stones are falling down around people's feet and they're knocking things over and things are just kind of slapped together. It's like, if you had a kid putting together a playhouse with cardboard and plastic wrap, and they made it into a movie set, and then that movie set became a major released, well, maybe not a major released motion picture, but certainly a released motion picture. It would probably get some chuckles and laughs and maybe like some awes from people that are like, oh, that's kind of cute that this kid put together their own movie. But it probably wouldn't be taken any more seriously than this movie probably was back in the day, because, like I said, this movie is wow.
This is the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
And every word of it's true, too.
That's the fantastic part of it.
If I was going to give this thing a rating, I'd have to give it like a 1 out of 36 Halloween masks, because that is the best I can do. 1 out of 36 Halloween masks.
Stop him, Tanner! Stop him, you fool!
if you're in the mood for something that's just horrible, if you need something in the background as you go to sleep, if you need something that's just kind of like Halloween ambiance for like a Halloween party, and you want something that looks kind of scary but you're not really paying attention to it, like this is really good for like background noise. If you need background noise, this is the movie for you. Now, as always, I appreciate the likes, shares, subscribes, comments, the interactions, you just being here. It's really helpful. Most of the videos on this channel are like me trompsing around in the woods and my ins and outs, but occasionally from time to time, I'm thinking, my goal is maybe like once a month to make a video like this for your pleasure, and I want to hit a wide variety of streaming services. If you have any suggestions, if you have any recommendations of really good bad movies, or any really bad good movies, then let me know in the comments, and I'll check them out, and maybe there'll be an episode on your very favorite bad good movie. So until next time, have a good one. We'll see you.